Hey FlossTube, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching here on YouTube and on Instagram. It is Sunday, September 25th, unbelievably, and I'm here with FlossTube 27. It's another outdoor edition. It's just such a gorgeous day. It finally feels like fall here, and so I just want to try and soak up as much as possible before I start another rotation tomorrow. So hopefully the cars behind me are not too loud or distracting. It's pretty quiet right now, so hoping it stays that way. But yeah, so it's been a month-ish since I've been here. It's been a crazy month. I was on surgery rotation and David was too, so kind of balancing those schedules. And then yeah, and then a lot of life stuff happened in the world and close to us. We had visited family. My best friend had her engagement party, so I was able to make a very quick trip down to Atlanta and be a part of that. The Queen died, which very sad about. My mom and I especially are self-proclaimed Anglophiles and just love most things British, and so that was a really sad day for us. And I got up at 4 a.m. and watched that entire funeral. I thankfully had Monday off. The physician I was working with was traveling, and so I was able to take the whole day off and watch, and had my tea and worked on something that I'll show you. And yeah, so really sad about that. The funeral was amazing. We have BritBox, so we watched the BBC version of it and got to hear kind of the British commentary of everything. So yeah, and then let's see. We saw the Blue Angels when they were here in town, and then just this past Friday, actually, my Aunt Barbara was able to come and visit, which was really fun. I hadn't seen her in a few years. She lives just a couple hours north of here in Virginia, and so it was really great to see her. And then October is also going to be a fun family-filled month. So yeah, so it's been good. Today is David's last day of surgery. He starts his elective tomorrow, which he's really excited about. I guess to do some fun Navy things. So yeah, all in all, life is good here. Just busy and balancing school still have to study, have exams at the end of every rotation. So school and life and cross stitch and all the fun things. But thank you so much for, those who are here checking me out, either if you're returning or if this is your first time. Thank you so much for all of your support. I also had a lot of support over on Instagram. Thank you for everyone who's checked out my designs that I've been releasing on Gumroad. I've really been having fun with that, and just really grateful for the support that I've gotten with that. Hopefully I'm gonna have more coming just whenever the inspiration strikes. And then I got a lot of responses last week. It's been something that I've been feeling for a few months now, but just finally okay, I'm just gonna put it out there and see what I get. I am feeling the intense urge to learn how to knit. Just the amount of beautiful things that people make. There's a lot of floss tubers who also knit, and it's just so fun to be able to see something come together that's actually functional. I love cable knit blankets. That was one of the gifts I gave to our friends, and I would just love to be able to make one of those in different colors and gift those to people. And it's something that I can start and finish. I don't have to find a finisher to finish a blanket or something for me. So once I learn how to do it, and I could learn how to finish cross stitch, but I feel like that's a whole separate hobby versus finishing knitting. It's part of the process. So I am not starting anytime soon. I still have a lot of data to collect and a lot of information to learn. I've gotten some good resources. If you have any really good resources that helped you learn how to knit, or definitely start with this project or this pattern and this will help you learn how to knit, then definitely leave me a comment or message me on Instagram. I'm really interested in learning. At some point, I want to get my cross stitch widths down before I actually jump into that though. So it's gonna be a minute. David and I were talking about it. I was like, I feel like I need to get my cross stitch widths under control because right now I have more than I'm comfortable with. So I'm trying. My focus next year is going to be finish things. I just need to get that, because I am more of a product stitcher. I want these things on our walls or finished, and so I gotta get that under control before I jump into a whole new hobby, because I definitely could see myself getting sucked into the deep, dark, wonderful hole of knitting. So yeah, so thanks for all the responses on that. And again, if you have any recommendations or tips, tricks, my main goal is I really want to learn how to cable knit blankets or sweaters or whatever, mostly blankets, but that's like my main project that I want to do. So any recommendations on how to get there? I know people have mentioned like start with a scarf, or, you know, so yeah, looking forward to see what you all have to say about that. But yeah, so that's been kind of on the mind. I also, you probably may have seen if you follow me on Instagram, I renamed my floss tags page to Georgia Girl Destash. I am still selling floss tags over there. I have quite a few still listed and a few more that I want to list. So I am still selling floss tags, but I have quite a bit of stash that, you know, doesn't have any foreseeable future here. Fabric colors that just I don't like, or I don't see myself ever stitching on. I'm gonna start destashing and sending those to homes that will use them and love them and find a purpose for them. Also a lot of charts that I've already stitched, you know, start selling those, and some other charts that I just don't see in the future, you know, being stitched. So that's gonna start happening. I don't know when yet, so if you go and follow that page, and then I'll post on the story of that page like the date that I'm gonna drop stuff. I don't know when that is yet, so I still have to like kind of pull everything and figure out what I have and what I'm wanting to sell. So that'll happen. I'm hoping to do that by the end of October, but we'll see. A lot of color and cotton fabrics that I might post. Just I've been part of the Fabric of the Month Club for a couple years now, and I've been getting 32 count and 40 count for I guess over a year at this point. So just gonna start, you know, destashing some of that just for some people that, you know, will love it and use it faster and better than I will. So yeah, so do that. If you're interested, I'll link that or post that down in the below so you can see how I listed it. But yeah, so those are kind of the big updates right now. And then life stuff, yeah, that's kind of the big life stuff. We're just, you know, loving life in Virginia. I hope everyone else is doing well too, that as these seasons change, it's going well for you, and praying for those that are being affected by hurricanes right now as well. A lot going on in the world as usual, it seems. So I guess I'll start on the stitching now. I do have a finish, which is a design of mine. You saw this on the last video. I had started it and I finished it, and this is Oxford 2021 nautical flags. So I did finish it. So these are like the universal nautical flags. Each flag represents a letter and a number, and so this spells Oxford, and then underneath it is 2021. And I just had so much fun with this. Super easy stitching. It's on 32 count Requiem from Color and Cotton. It was a July 2020 Fabric of the Month. And it's all DMC. I just loved it. So I have charted the entire alphabet for this, and I'll post a picture of it right here. And I have went ahead and listed it on my Gumroad page. So I have not stitched it yet. I plan to next year. But in the meantime, I went ahead and posted kind of what the mock-up looks like along with the chart. So that's on my Gumroad if you're interested. Also, I had a lot of fun kind of charting our name and our year and everything. So an option on there is if you have like a name or a quote or a word or even not just numbers, anything that you would love to have like in nautical flags, I can chart that for you and make it like a custom pattern for you and send it over. So that's all listed on Gumroad without like the instructions on what to do for that if you want to do that. I just have a lot of fun with them. So I think it's just like a cool way, you know, to have a representation of something. So especially if you're with someone's in the military or very nautical or love the beach. I mean, this is just a fun way to do that. So that's up there. We're gonna probably frame this at some point. David really wants this framed, so that'll be on the docket for that. That's my only finish. I have one start. So during the Queen's funeral, I wanted to start something. I wanted to work on something that was like British of some sort, and I realized I didn't have anything like kitted or anything. So I've been searching for one to start. I just couldn't really find one for a while. And then like 2 days before, my mom sent me a picture of this needlework kit, or needlepoint kit, and of a picture of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. But I could not find it in cross stitch. So I'll put a picture of the needlepoint the mock-up and model, words, the model. And then and I'll link that down below. But then I converted it to cross stitch myself. So I took it and then converted it into cross stitch. I changed the crown though. So the crown that's in the needlework for Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, that is like the crown that's on her company color company flag. And for me, when I think of Queen Elizabeth, I think of the Imperial State Crown, the purple. That was one that was on her casket. She wore it at her coronation. She wore it in her wedding. Like, that's the crown I think about when I think of Queen Elizabeth. So I charted the crown and am replacing it in that spot above the ER. And that I can't, just the crown, I'm going to put on my Gumroad page. If you're interested in having that Imperial State Crown, I'll post that. I can't post the rest of the chart because I did not get permission from that company to convert it to cross stitch. So for copyright reasons, like I can't post that. It's just for personal use. But in the future, if that ever changes, of course I'll share it. But I can at least post the crown. So, and then during her funeral, it was quite a long morning. I was actually able to finish the crown. So there it is. So I'm stitching the whole piece on here. It's 40 count raw natural linen, I think Zweigart. And this is where I got. I'm gonna see if I can get the sparkle to come through because it is full of metallics. And it's gonna have blue around it, so it'll pop even more. But I had a picture of it and I just kind of went back and forth on it. And I tried to get as much of the like stones in there as I could because it's full of them. So I don't have like different colors in Petite Treasure braid or Krynic or anything like that. So I went to Michael's down the road and got the DMC Light Effects. And because it's 40 count, I'm only using one strand of it, and just one strand of DMC Light Effects. It's not that bad to work with. I don't like 2 strands in full coverage, but 1 strand for a couple stitches, it's really not that bad, especially if you have a threader. So this is the blues, the reds, and the greens, and then this. Diamonds are really hard to design, like color-wise, to find a color. Diamond is really hard. So I used like this light violet purple color for the diamond, and that's this diamond, and then the 2 parts on top, because those and the crown, those are all full of diamonds. So that was what I used, and then the silver that goes around is Petite Treasure braid silver, and I have. For that, I will put on the chart, I'm putting the Light Effects, and then I'll also have the Krynic or the Petite, I think it was Petite Treasure braid that I used, because I also use the Petite Treasure braid gold in here as well. So I'll have that listed if you're interested. But I had a lot of fun stitching this, and like this just, for me, this just represents her. You know, that's just the crown that I feel like we saw her wear a lot, especially for very important things, and it was on her casket, and like, oh, the moment when they removed it at Windsor, it was so sad. So yeah, so kind of honoring Kiwi. She was an amazing person, so it's just sad that we lost her. She represents so much, like time-wise, like 70 years of ruling. Like, it's just crazy thinking about what the world was like 70 years ago. So anyway, so that was my start, and then I'm gonna work on that anytime we're watching something like British, like I'm watching a FlossTuber that's in Britain, or that I'm we're watching Bridgerton, or during like King Charles's coronation, you know, stuff like that. So anything like British related, I'll pull that out and work on it. Yeah, people have like snow day projects. This is going to be my England project. But yeah. And then I got 2 whips that I worked on. I worked on my pearl from Northern Expression Needlework Arts, my June piece. This is on 32 count raw silver. And I finished up the triangle. I'll put the before picture here, and then you can see how far I got. I got more of those pearls in, and I've started on this next band. Oh, let me also put the pattern up. Pattern here, and then before picture. I love it. I love it so much. It's so much fun getting those. I mean, just the, see if I can get, you can really see the silver sparkle in the fabric right now too. But yeah, just loving that. Hope to get I'm hoping to work on this more this month too. I want to get as far as I can before the end of the year on it. Oh, it just looks so good. So what I'm using, I'm not using any of the called for. I'm using Orchid Silks from Almond M&M. It's her kind of white color. It's the Delica Beads DB0202. So the charted is more of like a cream color, and I wanted more white, basically. So I converted things to be more white. So the Orchid Silks, Delica Beads DB0202, and then the pearls are white Euro crystals that are 3mm 5810 is like the color number. So I'll post the link down below where I got them. I got them off of Etsy, an Etsy store that I really like. So I'll post that down below. And then the last whip is, as you can probably guess, my patchwork. This is by Jan Hoopman. And I'm doing a complete conversion. If you're new here, I'm doing a complete conversion to beach colors. So it's like kind of an ombre with beach. And this is where I'm at. So, big difference. Let me pull it up. I've been adding this big thing. I'm almost done. I got like 350 stitches left of that. And then this has become my problem child. This darn motif, I can't figure it out. So I charted, originally it was in green. It was like it was in a dark teal, but it was, every time I looked at it, it was just too green. It was just too green for where it was in the pattern. And it bothered me. And so I even showed David, I like charted out the rest of these colors. I looked at David and he was like, yeah, my eyes instantly go to that and it's just too green. I'm like, I agree. So I took it out. And then I thought I had found a good color to put in there. And I'm still wrong. I got halfway with that light blue and I'm still just not happy with it. Let me come from a distance. I just feel like it needs to be a darker. So I have a few colors on order right now, mostly from Color and Cotton. And I'm not going to take it out yet. Like I can't bring myself to rip it out again. So I'm not yet. I will, but not yet. So I'm going to just keep working on this diagonal here. It's hard to hold this at this point. I'm going to work on this diagonal at this point and then reevaluate. And I might just wait until I finish that whole last corner and then reevaluate because I just don't know. It's in a very central transition point spot. So it has a lot of colors right around it. But my ideas are usually like going on the diagonal is kind of the color variegation that I'm going for. And so we'll see. So I'm loving it still. This is going to be my main focus for the rest of this year is trying to get this done. It's all I have left plus the quote. And the quote will not take me very long. So it's like, I just got to there's a lot of stitching left in this quarter though. A lot of stitching. I mean, this motif right here alone is going to be like, by the end of it, like 1,300 stitches. So it's a lot of stitching. I love it. I think I have the rest of the colors figured out though. I don't think I need to I'm happy with the colors that I have figured out. And this is like, people, how do you do this? It takes forever, like to do this kind of big conversion. I have to have it planned out. I admire like Jan Hicks, she's just like choosing as she goes, like the courage and the creativity that she has to do that. I mean, that's amazing. And hers looks amazing. I have not been doing that. I have like been choosing colors and then trying to place them beforehand, see how they all look together, and then go. And then as I get new colors, or as I get or if I'm not happy with one, then I just keep redoing it until I get it right. And so I have redone this corner already like 4 times. Like, case in point, let me show you. I keep the list here. That's how many times I've changed it. It's a mess. It's a total mess. This is the one I'm on right now. Is down here, and it's just a total mess. So I will be sharing my conversion. I will share it better than how it's written right now, but I need to clean that up a little bit. So also, if you're new here, this is my dog Tank. He's a yellow lab mastiff mix, so he's a large boy, but super sweet. So yeah, so that's all my cross stitching right now. So my plan is I'm gonna finish this motif and kind of just keep going on the diagonal. So I'll come next to it and then keep going down, and then reevaluate that blue when I get that floss in. It'll some point it's gonna just work perfectly. I just have to keep trying. So I don't want to stitch it again until I'm like actually sure. So I'm gonna try and get more around it. So work on that. I need to work on a few gifts. And then I need to get going on. And then I'm not gifting them until next year, but I need to start it. So it's no Christmas worries, but start working on that. And then those are my 2 big ones right now. We'll just kind of see how the month goes. This next month, my schedule is going to be like a 9 to 5. Well, really 8 to 5, which means I have to leave here like around 7:30. And then I don't get home till like 5:30, then I have to study. So I don't actually have that much stitching time during the week. Like there was 1 week this month that I didn't stitch at all, just with how busy and how much studying I had to do. So it's kind of a weekends and maybe 30 minutes at night is kind of going back to that for this rotation, because I don't think I start on Monday, so I could be wrong, but it's a clinic. So it's not like they have patients all day, and then we have to do stuff after patients leave. So I'm excited about it. It'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting experience, but really, really hoping for more stitching time as well. But I'm going to work on getting that destash page up and going, and hopefully getting more designs. If there is a design that you like, or if there's a quote or something that you would love to see in a chart form, let me know. I'm always looking for more inspiration, and if there's something that someone really wants, I'd be happy to take a crack at it at least, because I just have a lot of fun with that. So those are my plans. Haul is just color and cotton. I'm in the Fabric of the Month Club and the Threads of the Month Club for I get the all colors of both. So this color of the month was really pretty. Dried violets. So 40 count, 32 count in the front. Just really gorgeous fabric. This very light, like, dried violets is such a perfect name for it, but like it's so, the color difference in the two just always interests me. Like just the 2 fabric colors. Is always so interesting. So yeah, so I really love these. And then the floss of the month, you've probably already seen these at this point, but gorgeous fall colors. So yeah, I am changing my Fabric of the Month and Floss of the Month clubs to, because I don't know, I'm changing my floss to only 3 skeins a month, so that's going to go down. And then I'm considering dropping the 32 count fabric. I just don't stitch on it very much. I have a ton of it, and I really just gravitate more towards 40 count at this point. I love, love, love stitching with just 1 strand. I'm able to do it faster. It takes up less thread, so I can have more. Like I just really love, and I'm able to do 2 hand stitching with 1 strand that I can't really do with 2 strands. So, and I like the size of it. So I am gravitating more and more towards 40 count. So I think I might pause my 32 right now and focus more on the 40 count and kind of bulk up that stash a little bit more. Like I think I have like 4 32 count bags to like my 2, or like 5 32 count bags to my 2 40 count or something like that. So because I've been getting 32 count a lot longer, and that was my main fabric for a lot longer than 40 count has been. So it's kind of where we're at. So that might change a little bit in the next couple of months, but so yeah. And we're trying to save money for a new car for David. So like, you know, life stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. If you have any like questions or comments or want to just stop by and say hi, like I love interacting with everyone. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And just, I hope to become more and more active with this community. It's just such an amazing community, and start potentially interacting with the knitting community. So, I really want to, my goal is to start knitting like early next year, mid next year. So it's going to come. It's probably going to come a lot sooner than I actually finish these cross stitch trips, because I'm just like wanting to do it so bad. But I want to take the time to do it right. So anyway, I think that's everything. And I'll be back probably before the end of next month. His mom's coming to visit us at the end of October, so I'll probably do it the weekend before that. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful start to your next season, whether that be fall or spring, and I'll see you soon. Happy stitching, everyone.